It's the Okanagan Sun Coaches Show. Ryan Waters and head coach Ben Macauley. Coach, let's just briefly look back at last week. Obviously not the best game this team has played. What kind of lessons did you learn?
We learned that we've got a lot of work to do, mostly. We didn't play a complete game, and we had a lot of flaws offensively and defensively, and those were exposed by a good team. So, we learned one of the big things we took away from them was how well they executed with all 12 guys. That's something we need to thrive to be like, strive to be like, and really focus on the small details and improve that part of our game.
Speaking of focusing, Foster Martins left the game, I thought, a little earlier last week, and it looked like he was hobbling. Is he okay?
Yeah, just lower leg injury that should be okay. Going day to day right now, but we don't want to push him back too soon before he's ready because as much as this game's important, we've got a lot of important games left. So we want him to be healthy and at full speed when he goes.
What do you focus on this week in practice?
Just those little details, right? Making sure that we don't take time off, we don't take plays off. We're paying attention to our assignments and executing them, and really that's going to be on coaches to be watching that and holding guys accountable for their jobs. And if we see something that needs to change, we've got to take action and change it and not get comfortable the way we are. So, back to basics, back to fundamentals, and I don't think we have to beat the guys up at all. It's the time of year where we've taken enough of a beating physically, but we need to get guys' confidence up by Thursday.
Another big opponent coming up this weekend, the VI Raiders. You have to go to their place. How have they changed on film from the last time you faced them at the Apple Bowl?
Not a whole lot, except for they're just doing a better job.
Yeah.
They haven't changed systems much. They figured out how to use some of their young guys a bit better. They're just getting comfortable with each other. They got a good scrambling quarterback in LeBurge, and got some great defensive backs, some young guys making plays. So they're going to give us a lot to deal with. We're confident in it, but we know we've got to be all three phases of the game much better than them.
Throughout sports, we hear the terminology a must-win. You've lost 2 in a row. You're 6-2. They tied last week. They tied the West Shore Rebels. Is this a must-win?
Yeah, we've been looking at the last few as must-wins, and we dropped a couple to some good teams, and then we're in a must-win situation from here to the end of the playoffs, and we want to give ourselves the best chance to compete. Maybe it doesn't affect us that greatly in the standings, but we can't worry about where we're going to be seated. We're going to have to win 2 playoff games against BC opponents regardless. So whether we're playing in Kelowna or somewhere else, we're going to have to do a good job.
We'll see you Saturday.
Thanks, Ryan.
Head coach Ben Macauley, the Okanagan Sun, traveling on land, then across the water on the ferry to Vancouver Island to take on the Raiders this Saturday. For more information, keep it locked here to okanagansun.ca.